Hi, welcome to Turn-Based Besties, a podcast where two grown adults with no free time talk about their favorite RPGs. I'm DJ.
And I'm Sam, and we're besties that love to game. Today, we will be discussing a brand new title, one that just came out yesterday. I think we'll post this soon, so it'll be yesterday, called Code Vein 2. But first, real quick, before we get into that, let's catch up a bit. How are you doing?
I'm good. I just ran back from Seattle Opera to record this episode with you, so it has been a busy morning. I mean, it's no longer morning, but I've been there since like 9:30.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're dedicated. It was good. I know we tried to find a time to squeeze this in because we are both busy professionals, but here we are.
Yeah, so I just did a couple hours coaching the children. They're teenagers, not really children, at Seattle Opera. There are children there, but I don't work with like the second to like eighth graders because gross kids.
That seems hard.
I mean, probably. I wouldn't know because I don't want to. They're like, work with the seventh grader, and I was like, not until they know how to use deodorant. Absolutely. Get out of my office. I'm just kidding, kind of. But yeah, I coach some of the kiddos. They're doing this youth opera, so an opera written with the intention to be performed by teenagers. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Less risque topics and themes. And
the singing is more approachable for them. So I've got a couple from my private studio who are some of the leads in this. And then I go in and I coach all the leads, which is pretty fun. And it's about the Odyssey. It's like a retelling of the Odyssey. Yeah, and it's really beautiful music. Some of it sounds kind of like Alan Menken, so like kind of Disney-esque. Which again, this is a youth opera, so that's appropriate for it to be a little Disney dazzle there.
Oh man, yeah. I feel like my oldest daughter would love that eventually.
I bet so. Wait, how old is In? 6, 7?
7.
You know what? Like, if in a world where y'all lived in Seattle, because that makes in first grade. Yeah. And we have a couple of second and third graders in the chorus.
Okay, so eventually we'll look around here. N is doing like a theater in the park type thing, but I think she's going to be part of like the chorus or something like that. But anyway.
Oh, that's exciting. When is that happening?
I think that's this summer.
Oh, cool. And then she has piano lessons after like literally today.
Literally today. She just started about a month ago, so she's loving that. She's already started writing her own song. Did I already tell you that?
No.
She like wrote it down. She doesn't know how to write music. She doesn't know what it looks like.
Of course.
But In just sat down and started writing out lyrics and things that look like notes, and it was great.
Oh, you have a little Mozart Taylor Swift on your hands.
We'll see. But not to be outdone, Jay, my middle child, though, just randomly says the crazy stuff, and kids do, right?
Yeah.
We asked him, what he wanted to be when he grows up. That's a common topic that you talk about with kids over and over again.
Sure.
And this time, Jay goes, I want to be a dino, and then gives it, pause for dramatic effect, King of the Dinos.
Yeah, he does.
If you're going to shoot for dino, you want to shoot high. You want to shoot for King of the Dinos.
Yeah, I mean, Jay is not going to do anything half-assed. Like, he's not going to give you a cool 60. He's going to come in at a hot 100.
If you're going to be a dino, be the king.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's hop into it. Today, like I said, we are talking about Code Vein 2. So as you might guess, this is the second one in the Code Vein series. This is a third-person action RPG, and it is a Souls-like, which is a new genre for me. So developed and published by Bandai Namco. Platforms it's going to be on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, and it was released on January 30th of 2026. So I am already about halfway through, though, because if you buy the deluxe editions or kind of the collector's editions, you actually got access 72 hours early, so back on the 26th. So I've been playing through that all week, and I'm probably about halfway through.
Whoa!
Which is good. Yeah, I know. I've been able to chug through and get some hours in.
Cool.
I know.
So, like, tell me, like, when you say Souls-like, go into that a little bit, since it's kind of new for both of us.
Let's chat. So it is an action RPG. We do a lot of RPGs here. I don't know if any of us have dabbled in the Souls-like genre specifically for a bit or ever, but they originated with the Demon Souls game in 2009. So a relatively new genre. Generally a dark fantasy setting. I would say high difficulty, difficult combat that is deliberate with slow attack animations. So you have to
Cool.
really master the attacks of the enemies, know what they do. You might die a lot, actually.
Ugh.
And it's kind of, close your ears here, DJ, but kind of that get good mentality a lot, to be honest.
My favorite.
I know, I know. There's environmental storytelling generally, so kind of you learn as you explore the world, what's going on with the story. There's a feature of like save points, so you can't just randomly save wherever. You can save at
Oh.
these save points, which classically they're I think in the Souls games they are bonfires that you
Uh-huh.
find.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you've probably seen that or heard of that.
I saw that on Elden Ring when Max plays it.
Exactly. So when you get to those, you can save. You can also kind of level up, so you can use the EXP and the currency that you've gained since the last bonfire to level up your character at these bonfires or at these save points. They're called missiles in this game. You can upgrade weapons. You can do different things at the bonfires.
Cool.
Also in Souls-like games, you're building up this currency or you're building up XP, but you'll lose all that if you die, and then you might have to get back to the area that you died at to reclaim your XP that you had lost or the currency that you had lost.
Gotcha.
You mentioned one already, probably the most common or most well-known and most heralded and awarded version of this genre would be Elden Ring that you said. But
Okay.
other ones are Demon Souls, Dark Souls, the Neo series, Lies of P, Black Myth Wukong, Bloodborne. Those are ones that you've probably heard of, and all those fit under the umbrella of Souls-like.
Cool. Cool. I've heard of all those games, I think, at least. Not Liza P. I didn't know Liza P was a Souls. Like I've seen
It
that one
is,
pop up
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it's like Pinocchio based, but it's very popular nowadays. So
Oh, that's kind of cool. Great. So this is a sequel.
this is a sequel.
So
Yes.
you didn't play the first one. What is the difference?
Well, so what's different about Code Vein 2, not from the first one, but what's different for Code Vein 2 from Souls-like genre in general, I would say.
Yeah.
It fits the genre, but I would say it's less environmental storytelling, a little bit more there's a lot more cutscenes. There are fully voiced, fully animated cutscenes to explain the story. I would call it more forgiving than most Souls-likes that I've heard about, primarily because you have a partner that fights with you, so it's not just one-on-one always, and that partner can revive you when you're down. So a little bit of forgiveness there compared to most Souls-like games. And then it definitely does have dark fantasy aesthetic and themes, but there are anime visuals and tropes. There are sci-fi aspects with the time travel. So there's a lot of kind of different aspects that are not just dark fantasy. And quite honestly, the differences are what I would say is the sell for this game.
Yeah.
So I would call it a Souls-like, but if you're a Souls-like, that's maybe a little bit more forgiving, maybe not quite as difficult, maybe more story focused, maybe
Yeah.
more anime and sci-fi. So if you're somebody that's hardcore into Souls-likes and you really like that gritty combat, maybe this one won't blow your socks off. But if you're looking for something that's slightly different and to dip your toes into the Souls-like format, I really think this is a good place to start.
You are making it sound. This isn't a convince episode. Well, I guess it is. I mean, you're not convincing me. We're just convincing the general public to play Code Vein 2. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of dipping my. Same with like Shin Megami Tensei. Like I like the idea of dipping my toes into a harder game like that. But I also want the option, at least, for it to not frustrate me and kick my ass the entire time. So the Code Vein 2 does sound tempting at some point.
Yeah, I think it gets easier as you go, quite honestly. So what's it about, though? What's the story? We've kind of hinted at it, but it is in the same universe as Code Vein 1. I didn't play Code Vein 1. I've not had too hard of a time getting into Code Vein 2. There's a lot of proper nouns. There's lots of things in the world that they don't explain as much and probably would have been helpful to come from Code Vein 1. But overall, in this one, you play the role of a Revenant hunter. Revenants basically just think vampires. Humans in this world created vampires to be these more powerful humans, and they're called revenants.
Okay.
You are a revenant hunter, and you must fight against these abominations of the revenants called horrors that have been corrupted by a mysterious entity called the Lunar Rapaces. So again, I'm throwing a lot of names at you. Don't glaze over. You're accompanied by a revenant named Lou, and she is special because she can manipulate time. This is where the time travel comes in. So she'll allow you to travel to the past from the future where it's kind of post-apocalyptic and things are going downhill to the past to certain times to try to change the outcomes of the future. And then you travel back to the future, you see how things have changed, and then you do it again. That's kind of the loop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was intriguing, actually. I like time travel games.
That's cool.
What else do you do? So
I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, it's open world and there's a lot of exploration, which is pretty cool. Or rather open world. Again, dark setting. You kind of have that post-apocalyptic future, but also you travel back to the same place in the present or the past, and they're the exact same locales. So it's fun to see them in the future and in the past. There's lots of collectibles. There's always stuff around to collect. There are minions on the open map that will just pop out and attack you. You know, they're very zombie-esque, and they'll fight you, and so that's always fun. There's always something to do.
Cool.
There are mini dungeons. Maybe there's a cave that you can go into and fight mini bosses and find loot, those kind of things, or just a big building that you can traverse. So there's a lot of little mini dungeons. And then you do have nice quality of life aspects of fast travel for the exploration. Whenever you get to one of those missiles, you can always fast travel there, which is cool.
Cool.
And then they give you a motorbike, so you just have a motorcycle that also has wings and can fly, and it just helps you get around, which is a little bit quirky and off base, but I kind of like that. Like, don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Let me go faster if I want to and hit a zombie with a motorbike. So I kind of love it.
That's kind of fun. Well, I mean, it's still anime / sci-fi, so there you go. That kind of makes sense to have a not so serious motorbike. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the combat.
Okay, combat, Souls-like, third-person RPG, action RPG. Again, there's all these names for everything.
Yeah.
And at first, it was really making my eyes kind of glaze over. I watched a few videos on YouTube that kind of outlined it a lot better, I thought, and I'll try to do that for you.
Oh, any shout-outs you want to give to the videos you watched?
We'll put a link, maybe attach it to our
notes.
episode.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's see. So there's a lot of proper nouns for things, but don't gloss over. So there's something called the blood code. Basically, it's your job class.
Cool.
So you can freely swap between these. It might allow you to be stronger with strength weapons, like a big old hammer or something like that. Or it might, maybe there's one that's better set for dexterity or one that's better set for magic. So anyway, think of it as like a job class. You'll equip those, and then that will let you kind of equip the weapons better to be better suited for that. And then you upgrade them. The more you use them, you get proficient in them, and then they eventually get upgraded.
Cool.
You have weapons. You have longsword, greatsword, dual blades, rune blades, hammer, bayonet, halberd. Lots of Monster Hunter overlap there, so I loved it. Each one has normal fast attack, slow attack, jump attack, so normal kind of stuff that every weapon will have their own little attacks. And then each one you can slot in, or it'll come with 4 different special attacks, basically, which they call forme, just a fancy word for like magic attacks. Think of forme as a magic attack. So you can do 4 different kind of like magic attacks.
Forme, maybe one will gourmet magic attacks, if you will.
There you go. It's special. Mwah. Chef's kiss. But you so maybe they'll like be a magical blast, or one will be a special spin attack, or one will be that it just increases your attack damage for a little bit. That's kind of what those forme do. And then you have, so that'll be equipped to the weapons, and then you get a slot for an offensive forme, which is just a special additional offensive weapon like a bow.
Yeah.
Think of it as like a secondary weapon. And then a defensive forme, again, they throw all these words out there, but your defensive forme is basically just like your shield. So you can get like special shields, but they call them defensive forme. Go ahead.
Question. Just so I'm clear, and so the listeners are clear too. 4 slots that are called forme. And then additionally, you have 1 offensive and defensive forme, which brings it up to 6, or are the offensive and defensive within that 4? Does that make sense?
Additional brings it up to 6.
Okay, cool.
So you have for each weapon, you'll get to apply 4 different ones to them, and those will each be slotted to the letter buttons, right?
Cool.
And then you've got a shield, which they call your defensive forme, and then like a secondary weapon, which they call your offensive forme, which is like a bow sometimes. Sometimes it's a big hammer that kind of freezes time in a certain space. So it's just like gives you additional stuff to do, and they give it names, and they make it all confusing. But like once you kind of slot everything in, it makes more sense.
Okay.
Okay, Ichor, because you got to call it something else other than mana. But it's just your mana, it's just your magic that lets you use those magic moves, those forme moves, okay?
Yeah.
So you have Ichor, and you have a certain amount, and as you use it, it goes down. Oh my gosh, what do I do to build up more Ichor?
I don't know.
Because I'm out. Well, you use a different thing called a jail.
Oh my god.
So many names. I know, don't get lost. So you use the jail that is just another special move that will drain ichor from your enemy. So again, it's vampire themes, right? So
Yeah.
you're kind of building up this bleed, you're cutting them, and then you drain to gain more ichor for yourself. And then you can use those special moves again. Okay?
Do you know what ichor means?
I don't.
It means the fluid that flows like blood in the veins of a god.
Oh, cool. Well, then that's what it is.
Isn't that? I'm so sorry. I was like, just wanted to give you a definition. Sorry.
I needed that. So, okay. So the combat loop is that you're hitting them. You have basic attacks. You're hitting them with your weapon. Hit them, hit them, hit them.
Yeah.
You can use special attacks called Forme, but that takes mana. That takes magic called Ichor. And then eventually when you run out, you can use your jail to kind of drain them and gain more mana back.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Why not?
So many names. I know I was glazing over at first. You get used to it. Good news, though, is there's not a whole lot of other gear. That's basically everything we talked about. There's some boosters which you can equip that are just like, hey, you'll get extra strength. Hey, you'll get extra dexterity. Whatever. Don't worry about those.
Yeah.
Leveling up, we talked about that. You do it at missiles. When you get to one of those bonfire type things, which are called missiles in this game, which are just glowing statues, you can level up if you have enough XP or currency. Here we go. Last thing on combat, you have a partner. So part of the story, you're interacting with different people, and then they'll come along with you. And then you can choose later on, like, which partner you want to have with you, and they'll fight alongside you, which is great. Again, they can do their own special moves, do their own special thing. They give you kind of partner buffs. And then when you die, if you die, they can revive you. And then they go away, though, when you're revived, and then there's a cooldown for them to come back. So they can't just constantly revive you.
Sure.
So if they go away, they revive you, you die again, that's when you actually die.
I gotcha.
And theoretically, you can play with them out, and they're fighting with you, and then sometimes the enemy's like focused on them, and they're drawing aggro. Or you can absorb them and get a special additional buff, but you don't have somebody fighting with you. So it's a little bit of a give and take. You're a little bit more powerful, but somebody's not fighting with you, so you can choose, which is kind of cool.
Gotcha. I mean, I think you've basically kind of answered this, but is there a difficulty setting, or is it like is there like casual, normal, hard, or is it just like there's just one?
I think there is. I'm almost positive there is. I think I just played on the normal, but I think there was a selection for that when you get into it.
Cool. A wuss like me likes to know that, because full disclosure, I play most games on easy.
I think there's an easier way to play it, and then also, when you have the partner with you out fighting, that makes it easier too, because they can revive you, but also they're fighting. So sometimes you can just kind of dodge and let them fight people.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. And then visually, we've talked a lot about this. Dark, gothic aesthetic, very dark color palette, nothing very bright. You're in forests, kind of dilapidated cities. But then there are the more anime visuals too. Specifically, I would say the characters, look very anime. And this is something that was widely praised. You will see, full disclosure for reviews on this game, you'll see a mixed bag. You'll see some people that are giving it kind of 6 out of 10s that didn't love it, and other people that are more like 8 out of 10s that really did like it. But one thing that was widely praised and widely loved is the character creator. It's very in-depth. You can really make your character look however you want them to, which is cool. Let's see here. Visually wise, I would say it's somewhat generic, the locales you're going through, but for me it was fun because I like to just kind of explore and find stuff, and there's always stuff to find. I had some frame rate issues only when I would get on the motorbike and go like super fast.
Yeah.
But during battles, I didn't have any frame rate issues. I'm not a frame rate snob.
Yeah.
But I didn't find it to be a problem. So visually, I liked it. I would never say it really blew me away, but I think it was pleasing to watch and look at, and again, smooth for my experience.
And you're playing on Xbox, right?
I am playing on an Xbox Series X, yes.
That's kind of shocking that you could even experience frame rate issues on there. I view that as like a really great, piece of equipment.
I've heard some people that are big kind of snobs on frame rate thought that it didn't run great at times, and I think mostly it was what I noticed is if you're on a motorbike, you're moving faster through these large open worlds, it might stutter a little bit there. So that happened. But again, when I was fighting enemies, I never noticed it. Which I would say is the most important time.
I'd agree. Cool. So, I'm a musician. Sam, you're a musician too. Tell me a little bit about the music. You are a musician. You music.
I'm kind of a musician. You're a musician. You're a professional musician.
Literally sang the first dance for my wedding. You and your
Yeah,
wife.
I'm still
did.
waiting on my check there. But anyway,
Again, keep
moving
waiting.
on. So the composer for this was Go Shiina, I believe is how you say his name.
Okay.
Did a lot of the composing for the Tales of games, actually.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is, yeah, the Tekken games and then some animes. There's a whole list. This person is very prolific. What I would say is odd about the music, when it was there, when you're fighting, it would pick up during battles and stuff like that. I really liked it. It's got some nice booming orchestral pieces that really go well with fighting monstrosities.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah.
great. However, most of the time they don't have music, so there's not a whole lot of atmospheric music when you're traveling around, and I think that's a choice. I
Sure.
think they're trying to be like, it's spooky, it's there's not much
It's
sound. What can you hear around
desolate,
you?
yeah.
It's desolate, yeah. So it did feel a little jarring at times though to go from absolutely nothing to just this big orchestra all out of nowhere. So that was a little bit off-putting, but when the music happened, I really liked that. Let's see what else about it, and then there were a few odd things about the volume. Sometimes it would be super loud, and other
Yeah.
times it wouldn't. So, but the tracks themselves, super enjoyed them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So overall about Code Vein 2, what did I think? So the story, I really liked the story. The story was better than I thought. I like sci-fi stuff. I like time travel. I like going back, trying to fix something, coming to the future, seeing how it affects it. That was cool. That loop was nice. The loop of battle I enjoyed. So it's not just hack and slash. It was, you have to balance your form A moves, and then when you run out, you have to make sure you use that drain attack to get your mana back, and you can really, get tied up in that loop, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of customizability with all those different pronouns we used, all those different form A and all the different weapons and whatever, and blood codes. There's a lot of customizability. You can say,
Yeah.
hey, I want to do this kind of build. Hey, I want to try this kind of build. And I like that. However, I'd say a few times it was less. Maybe I just don't know the system yet, not being all the way through it, but it didn't quite work out like I wanted to a few times. I'd say, okay, I want this kind of maybe magic build or this kind of halberd build, and it just wouldn't do the damage I wanted it to. But I think that's more on me than the game, and I just have to get to know those systems. But that was a little bit not the best. And then I liked the exploring. You always hear me say, I don't want to be looking at my phone for the next thing to do
Of
and
course.
stuck in my phone. But this game, I felt like I could go out wherever I set forth. I would find a mini dungeon. I would find some loot. I would find a bad guy to fight, and it would be some sort of progression. It would be some sort of forward movement that would allow me to be lost in the world, and I love that. So
Cool.
that was my favorite part, probably.
Great. So what would be some, I don't know, like your not favorite parts? Not that you hated or anything, but like what are some like least best parts of the game?
Yeah. I think this is where it gets the 6 out of 10s. I think these are the points that people really took issue with, is
Okay.
that they do repeat a lot of enemy types. So you'll see the same enemy maybe reflavored to be a boss enemy later on and just have maybe one extra attack or something like that. But you see recycled enemies a lot. I think games like Elden Ring and other games like that have probably raised the Souls-like genre bar so high that when something like this happens, people dock it a lot, right? They give a lot of negative points for that. I would say the world can be generic at times, so I enjoyed it because there's always something to find. But if you stop and try to kind of look around and see what you're actually looking at, it might be rather, generic what you're walking through, the forest that you're going through, the buildings, nothing jumping out. And then, while I like the story, it is a silent protagonist that his responses and his facial expressions, or for me, it was a male protagonist, just kind of were so bland that it sometimes would take me out of the story. It's like,
Sure.
come on, have a little bit more behind this.
You can be an expressive silent protagonist. Like there are silent protagonists that, like we assume the avatar, the player, I get that. But like there can be exciting silent protagonists still. It sounds like maybe this one could have been more exciting.
I think so. And I wonder if that's, if you have such an in-depth character creator and you can make whatever character, is it hard to also keep expressions for every possible character face and character whatever? I would wager yes. Yeah. So those would be the downsides though. So overall, I would say play Code Vein 2 or look into it, consider it. If you're wanting to try a Souls-like game, but maybe you are more into anime. You like games that are a little bit more story focused. You like sci-fi elements such as time travel. And are you a little worried about a Souls-like? This can be hard at times, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But compared to other ones, I think aspects like the partner that fights with you and being able to revive you give it an element of ease compared to those ones that really allows somebody to explore this genre without feeling quite as beat down.
Cool. And then it sounds like I would say do not play this if you want a more difficult, crunchy, true to genre, difficult Souls-like, because it might not live up to your expectations.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that for sure. So if somebody's really a Souls-like aficionado and you've played Elden Ring and Lies of P and all these ones that are seen as top tier, then you might not get what you're looking for out of this one.
Could this be like a gateway into a Souls-like if you've never played Souls before? Like, would you recommend this as someone's first Souls-ish game?
As somebody that's played very few, I think yes, for the reasons that I said.
Yeah.
But to me, it's made me very excited. You know how Max, your partner's been playing Elden Ring, right? And so
Yeah.
I am so much more excited and less afraid of Elden Ring because now I feel like I've hit on the genre. I know what it's about to some degree. And when I get into Elden Ring, I think I'll like it more. And I'll probably be able to appreciate more what everybody likes about it, why it's so heralded, why it's so lauded, because it does things just perfectly, apparently.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh my gosh, this is
anyway.
great. What a great convincing to try to convince folks to play Code Vein 2. It sounds cool. I'm gonna watch some reviews about it. I mean, I'm playing a game right now too, and we'll obviously talk about that in about 10 seconds. But you've convinced me to look farther, look more in
I'd
depth
say check
into
it
this
out.
game.
And keep in mind, though, it will be, especially up front, maybe a little bit jarring in the kind of the, oh my gosh, I'm getting smacked down in 2 hits and I'm dead.
Yeah.
But as you get through it, it does get easier. And once you get more gear and everything, I'd say the beginning is the hardest, quite honestly.
Great. So you're playing Code Vein 2. Are you playing anything else right now?
Yes. So I took a step away from Trails in the Sky, first chapter,
Sure.
to play Code Vein 2. But I mean, I'm going to finish Code Vein 2, and
Yeah.
I'm going to finish Trails in the Sky. Those are the ones I'm playing a lot right now, and I
Yeah.
love them both dearly.
Yeah.
What about you? Oh, I know what you've been playing. Tell me about it.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm late to the game here-ish, but I am playing my first SMT game, Shin Megami Tensei. I'm playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, and I'm playing the canon of Vengeance. So I never played the vanilla base game. I mean, I guess I think I actually did play for like a couple hours just to get a feel for what it felt like to play that like a couple years ago,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's really fun. I'm playing Canon of Vengeance, so my experience is different from folks who play the base game, but like I think there's plenty of story. I feel satisfied with the minimal amount of story that's there. The gameplay is pretty fun. And I'm playing it on easy. I'm not playing it on casual, but I'm playing it on easy. I still have gotten my ass kicked a couple times,
It'll do that to you.
which makes it exciting.
Yeah.
But I like some of the quality of life updates that Vengeance has that the original base game did not have. It makes it more approachable for a loser like me. So it's really quite fun.
Well, I'm so glad you're liking it. You know, I loved SMT back in the day, SMT 5, and I never played the Vengeance one, primarily because it's so many additional hours, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, to me it feels like a replay of a game that I've already played. So that's probably why I'm not going to play it, just because there's so many other games to play. But I am jealous of you playing it again. I'm so happy that you like it. That's great.
It's pretty fun. I've heard from Alexi, one of the YouTube reviewers that I follow, and she says that if you have played Canon of Creation, so the base game, that Canon of Vengeance does have some noticeable differences, but the story doesn't take a noticeable turn until about 40 hours in. So that's a lot to dedicate to finally get the swerve there, because I think it's I'm playing with all the quality of life updates, so I'll probably finish it under 100 hours. Probably I'll get closer to like 60 or 70 hours.
Okay.
But still, that's dedicated, especially if you did all of the side quests in the first game, and then now you want to do all the side quests plus all the additional side quests in this one. That would be overwhelming, I can imagine.
Oh yeah. So anyway, but that's awesome. That is so exciting. And anything else you're digging into?
Heck yeah, man. So it's not a game, but I mean it's a game adjacent. Last week I got one of the Althena treasure boxes from the Lunar remaster that happened back in the spring. I think I ordered it in like July of 2025, and it finally just came in.
You sent me pictures of this. That looks so cool.
I'm so stoked, man. We'll have to like take photos and post it on Instagram. It comes with this cute like build it your own diorama of a scene from Lunar 1 and Lunar 2. It comes with like a map and like a mouse pad and like a t-shirt that I will absolutely wear, and a keychain and like little trinkety things. Most of these things will stay in the box for forever and ever. I'm in, but like the t-shirt I'm totally gonna wear. I'm gonna nerd out. I'm gonna like take it to my tattoo artist and be like, this is it. This is the pixel art I want. Give me a null tattoo. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. You should totally post pictures of all those things on our Instagram. And how do they find our Instagram, DJ?
Oh, excellent question, Sam. You can find us at Turn-Based Besties on Instagram. Really, that's our handle for every social media type of platform out there. So at Turn-Based Besties, at Instagram, you can find us and listen to our episodes on Spotify or really wherever you get your podcasts. Also on YouTube. Check us out on Reddit. We've got a fledgling subreddit that maybe we'll post to eventually. And Sam has started a Tink Tonk, also called TikTok.
There'll be more Tink Tonks eventually.
Yeah,
I've got some ideas for some actual live action Sam TikToking.
Hell yeah, brother. Also, if you liked our YouTube shorts, Sam's going to start, re-uploading all of those to TikTok too. Mm-hmm. So get ready. And the most exciting non-video game, but video game adjacent news, I think, for the channel, our podcast, is we have new pixel art.
It's great.
It looks so good. Super shout out to @HarveyDentMD. I found this artist with incredible reviews on, I believe, Fiverr. I think that's how you say it. Fiverr.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where you can commission folks to do pixel art. He was awesome. I would love to reach out to him again if we need any more art for Turn-Based Besties, because he was great. Well,
good. Yeah, support your local artists or real artists.
Or real art. Yeah. Support real artists. None of this AI bullshit. So go to our socials. Let us know your thoughts on Code Vein 2. You can email us comments and questions at turnbasedbesties@gmail.com. While we do have new episodes released when, Sam?
Friday mornings, 8 a.m. Pacific time and 10 a.m. Central time. Generally, almost always. Today will be an exception.
Today will be a bonus episode.
Bonus.
Yeah. But, yeah. That'll be it, man. So, giant thanks to everyone who follows us on social media. We love going on new adventures with you at each new episode here at Turn-Based Besties.
And as we always say, when everything in the world points right, maybe go left and see what you find. Because I'm Sam.
And I'm DJ, and this has been a bonus episode of Turn-Based Besties. Bye.
Bye.